Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the second season of True Detective. And this is from creator Nick Pizzolatto, who has this series for HBO, and the first season of True Detective is one of the most impressive seasons of television that I think I've ever watched. And where that season really capitalizes on deep thematic elements, really great performances, and diving deep into these two particular characters, and then having some existential conversations, an interesting way of structuring the show and playing it out. I feel like season 2 is much more of a straightforward procedural kind of cop drama. And instead of tons of deep themes that are, some of which were out there in terms of the first season and had some interesting horror elements to it, this one kind of just leans heavily into like a lot of that police corruption and what's going on. And those are strong and well-developed themes in the show, but it also feels like this season just felt like it was leaning so heavily into all the different kinds of plot threads that you could throw in there. There were so many moving parts. This even had the point of where the first season really just had Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson to focus on. This had 4 main characters to focus on. And them trying to balance everything, each of them having their own issues and their own dramas and traumas, and then trying to weave it all together, because you have Colin Farrell, who's not doing so great as a cop. He's fighting for custody of his son, and that's a big thing. You have Rachel McAdams, who has a lot of trauma from her background and then dealing with her sister. You have Taylor Kitsch's character, who's trying to balance this young marriage that he has and a new child. You have Vince Vaughn, who's playing this mobster who has this, it's like burning down bars and stuff like that and trying to really expand and go straight, but keeps getting pulled into things. And you have Kelly, you have Kelly Riley, who plays his wife, that there's a tumultuous relationship there. So you have all of these moving parts and trying to balance all these things while also trying to deliver a compelling mystery or case. And I feel like there's just too many moving pieces here, and trying to balance everything in an effective way. You do get the performances. I don't think there's anything quite like Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson from the first season, but you have strong performances across the board. It's interesting, like, seeing Taylor Kitsch in this, because, like, he was supposed to be, like, the next big thing. John Carter happens, and it's like, he's in this particular series, and obviously his role's different than the rest, but he kind of feels like he sticks out a bit. And I guess having seen films like Brawl and Cell Block 99 and Dragged Across Concrete, I wasn't as surprised about Vince Vaughn in this show, and I think he did a fine job as well. And you just have this weaving of all these different characters leading up to 2 pretty impactful final episodes where a lot of stuff happens and consequences come. And I think that's the biggest thing, because this is just a really close eye on corruption and like that awful gray area in police work. And you have this story kind of all flowing to that point, trying to tie everything off. Things end in intense and impactful ways. But in the end, I feel like this is a much more of a solid police drama, whereas, say, first season of True Detective was a really dynamic series that transcended the genre, where this one just fits nice and comfortable in that genre and delivers a well-made version of that with, like, directors like John Crowley and Justin Lin. So in the end, I feel like it works, but in a series where it's like an anthology, seasons are going to be compared to each other. This really is a huge drop down from the first season of True Detective. But I've been hearing that the third season's a lot better, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. But those are my thoughts on the second season of True Detective. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.